Blah! Welcome back. Swamp Sound Studios presents Gabbing About Gear, episode number 2. Today we're talking about everything bass guitar. Let's dive in. So in that video you just saw there, I was using the Sterling Joe Dart signature bass by Music Man. Bought that with my own money in May of 2024 and received it in January of 2025. So I've had a little bit of time to play with it and get an overall opinion about, hey, does it suck? Well, let's dive into that. So I'm not going to go into the specs. I'm just going to go into my experience playing the bass guitar. I absolutely love it. I have a Fender and I have an Ibanez. They both sound great. They do both those things great, but I didn't have anything that did that 70s Music Man kind of a tone or vibe. And when I saw that thing come up for $3.99, I jumped on it. I sold a pair of studio monitors to get it. Hey, got to pay to play. But for $3.99, I'm blown away. They could have packed it better, but what do you expect? I'll take it. You know what I mean? But it came in one piece. Excellent craftsmanship for the money. It's so fun to play. It's set up awesome. You just plug it in, and it sounds amazing. It sounds like that 70s P-bass, or I'm sorry, that 70s Music Man thing, not a P-bass. That 70s Music Man thing. Think like, Bernard Edwards, things like that. I just think of Chic immediately when I hear that, or a lot of that neo-funk from the early 80s. But it's very fun to play. Slap. It's very fun to play pizzicato. The one pickup is fun because it's limiting. You got just a volume knob. But I kind of like that. I don't like optionitis. I love knowing that I just plug it in, it sounds good. So I usually pair that with the Black Lion Autura DT preamp, and then I like to hit it with the Opto comp on the way in. So I'm going to show you that here in a second. What's up, y'all? We're in front of the console, in front of the gear, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the signal chain. Looking from the patch bay first, actually. So let's go over here and let's take a look at the patch bay. So what I have going on is I have a signal coming out of Protools from the bass bus. And what it's doing is coming out channel 4, this black cord here. And it's going into the radial reamper. And what that does is that comes all the way out down here into the Electro-Harmonix bass balls. That's the whole point. We had a dry bass. So what we're going to do is we're going to send everything wet through the bass balls today, just to do something really wild. Travel all the way over here into this ugly DI box. We're taking the DI afterwards, and this sends out into the amp room, which I'm going to show you here in a second. Welcome to my doo-doo room, which also happens to double as an ISO room for my amplifiers. We'll run through all these lovely guitar amplifiers another day in my miking choices and why I do what I do. Today, what we're doing is sending that signal out that reamp box. It came from that DI box I just showed you. Now it's hitting this David Eden EC210 And yes, the inevitable noise from reamping. What are you gonna do? So we're taking the DI from the amp itself, the amp itself, and then we're using this E609 to get some of the cab sound. So let's go ahead, shut the door, and let's see what we get. So now that everything has left, it is being re-recorded through the desk. Here's what we have going on. The VHD is handling the Eden's DI going into Pro Tools, and then the E609 is hitting the Golden Age 73 Pre. So it's hitting this guy right here, and it's hitting this guy right here. So the DI coming back in is that yellow cord right up here, and that is going into the Trident 80B Pre and EQ, showing up on the desk on channel number 6. So we're only going to be re-recording 3 channels back into the desk. So let me get the proper session pulled up and we will take a look. Here we are again, looking at a Pro Tools session. Today we're talking about bass guitar. So we will go ahead and we'll walk you through, starting with the bass bus. As you can see, I'm sending a line out, and that is going through that reamp box, through the bass balls, out to the amp in the other room. So that's what we're doing. We're taking the dry bass and we're affecting it today. In fact, I'm going to mute it from the console so you can hear the dry first. Okay, so looking at the bass bus here, I'm going to put that off to the side. That's what we're doing for the EQ, nothing crazy. Boosting a little bit on the ultraviolet in the low end. Not too much, but hey. And then we got the 1176, 8:1 ratio, nothing crazy, quick release, slow attack. And we got a gate on there just in case. Okay, so looking at the first track that we had recorded, that was the Joe Dart Sterling through a Black Lion Auteur MK2, or no, I'm sorry, the DT. I had just DI'd it through the DT, Auteur DT, and that went through a Warm Audio LA2. So here's the EQ on that. That's the low end. I duplicated the track, and now there's the high end. Okay, so here's the original bass. Alright, let's go ahead and mute the drums so we're just hearing the bass guitar. I'm going to go over here. Cool, let's hear the pizzicato part. Hey, not the best performance on the planet, but I'll take it. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and we are going to reprint from the console. So here we go. Okay, and we have successfully reprinted it. We've muted it from the console now. You were hearing it there in real time from the mixing console. So here we go. Here is our new bass tracks blended in. And I'm just doing a quick phase aligning here while I got you on the phone. Much better. Now what did I just do? Now since I sent signals out, went back into the computer, through all that analog goodness, you get a little bit of latency, so I just kind of time aligned them real quick. Now let's go ahead and dive in. Let's mute the clean bass, and here's just what we reprinted. Pretty cool. So here's the cues. Let's actually bypass this one from the Eden. There's just our E609. Alright, now let's take our DI that we recorded here. That's a pretty good EQ curve. Actually, you know what? I want to switch these around. So now the E609 looks like this. Let's hear it. Excellent. And now this one, let's put that back in for all our clean low end. So this is the DI and the E609 from the amp. Pretty cool. I dig it. Let's hear what the DI box sounded like before it actually hit the amplifier. Ah, yes. Let me bypass this. Pretty dang good. Way lower noise floor, and that was through the 80Bs, the Tridents. I absolutely love those bad boys. So again, let's hear them all together. That's very cool. Let's hear that in context now. Let's add the drums back in. Very cool. Let's put the clean bass back in there too. Fun. So one thing I think might be kind of cool just in this context for fun, let's take both the DIs and pan them a little. So we're going to take the Golden Age DI from the Eden, pan it 32% left, and we're going to take the DI box with the 80Bs and pan it 32% right. Ah yes, we just bypassed that. No EQ, just the way it tracked. Dang, now that's pretty funky. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna print that down, and I think we'll just keep building this video as we go. That little snippet there, I'm thinking about maybe adding some guitar in there and keeping the session going. So yeah, maybe we'll do some bass bus processing, maybe some drum tongue-tied today, drum bus processing, and see what happens. But yeah, that's it. Thanks y'all for stopping by and taking a deep dive with me into the swamp once again. This shirt here, I'm wearing my Alias's shirt, Professor Space Boogie. I just put out a record this year in 2025. Just had some shirts printed, by Flying Donut Press. So if you're interested in Swamp Sound Studios apparel, Professor Space Boogie shirts, let me know. Hit me up in the comments, drop me a DM. Hey. Comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thinking probably we're going to dive into guitar next. So let me know what you think in those comments. And as always, have a good one.